Well, it's a nice afternoon in Stuart, Florida, and I hope you're enjoying our up and down economy. Things are up, things are down. The stock market is up, at least some of the stocks. Actually, if you look at the broad averages, many stocks are actually flat or even in some cases down, but there are the stocks that are the favorites of the artificial intelligence crowd, and they're doing quite well, Micron and Intel and so forth. But there's others like Whirlpool, which had a bad report and of course went down, which kind of reflects some of the downside of the economy. Housing's not doing all that great. Why? Well, interest rates are up, which means mortgage rates are up, which means housing sales were down. And of course, we had the problem with Spirit Airlines. Spirit, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, in the Biden administration, tried to merge with Frontier, as I recall. But that merger was denied because we wanted to preserve competition. Apparently, they forgot that to preserve competition, you have to preserve competitors. It's hard to have competition with no competitors. And so now we're going to have fewer competitors in the airline industry, all for the sake of trying to preserve competition. And of course, the higher fuel prices didn't help. Airlines have really been experiencing some very, very sharp increases in jet fuel. So we've got higher prices, and the unemployment rate was holding steady at about 4.3%. So let's look at the numbers. The background scenes today will be from various shots around Stuart, Florida, which is in Martin County. We are on a pier extending out into the wide St. Lucie River, which connects the Intercoastal Waterway and the Atlantic Ocean. Stuart is about 100 miles north of Miami on the Atlantic coast. The stock market saw gains across the board. Higher oil prices pushed inflation up to 3.8%. The bar charts show this clearly. Energy prices rose nearly 18% in April. The national unemployment rate held constant at 4.3%. This rate in March climbed to 4.7%, which was higher than the figure for the 2 previous months. More than half of the metropolitan areas in Florida saw a decrease in the number of people employed in March. The announcement that Spirit Airlines was shutting down affected more than 4,000 employees in Florida. Florida U.S. Senator Rick Scott has expressed concern about the rising unemployment in Florida. On a social media post, Rick Scott said that Florida needs to focus on growing our economy and getting Florida back to work. In Florida, unemployment varies from a low of 2.9% in Miami to a high of 8.4% in Taylor. Well, this concludes my report to you for now. Please share this with others and don't forget to subscribe. Join the Conch Economist next time for more Surviving the Waves of Economic Change. The stock market had gains across the board. Higher energy prices helped to push the CPI up from 3.3% in March to 3.8% in April. The national unemployment rate held constant at 4.3% for March and April, but Florida has not been doing so well. The March jobless rate in Florida climbed to 4.7%, which was up from February's 4.6% and higher than January's 4.5%. Florida's unemployment rate has come in higher than the national rate for every month in 2026. More than half of the 25 metropolitan areas in Florida saw year-to-year decreases in the number of jobs in March. The announcement last week by Spirit Airlines that it was shutting down affected over 4,000 employees in Florida. U.S. Senator Rick Scott has expressed his concern on a post on national media, and it said, "We're losing tens of thousands of jobs every month, and our unemployment is behind the national average. There needs to be a relentless focus on growing our economy and getting Florida back to work."